Check, check. Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Hello? All right. Okay. First, good afternoon, everyone. So here we are at the uh, at the Trusted Talk Jolly series, and this is in this day we will talk about why you should start debating. It goes Cuan by Rane Arthur. Okay. Before that, I will introduce. Check. Sorry, it's because unstable connection. All right. I'm sorry. That's the connection is really poor here. All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abraham Saher, a tournament and training division staff from TrisaktiVoices. Before we entered Trusted Talk July series, let us take a look about our beloved community. TrisaktiVoices, also commonly abbreviated as TV. All right. So, uh, guys, TV has a lot beautiful memories in it. It is really sweet. If I could sing TV in a lyric, I would sing, "We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun." So, in TrisaktiVoices, we had so much fun in this community and so much really joy in this community. That's how I imagine TV in my mind. And here are some memories of the fun we have had together. Okay, let me take a moment for another share screen. Okay, I'm sorry for that before. So here it is, the statistic of TrisaktiVoices community. All right, first there is okay, I'm sorry. Out of 9 faculty in Universitas Trisakti, 8 of them are either an alum or active debaters, representing Universitas Trisakti national and regional competition. Besides competing, we also convene our own NUDC and academy selection for the past 2 years, as well as this Natalis in Universitas anniversary before, and also debating competition. All of our project and activities are directly monitored by Universitas Trisakti administration, or we used to call BAMA. And here it is. There is a first NUDC in NUDC British Parliamentary since 2019 until right now, or the present. In debating in English, we have a first Universitas Trisakti level, and second LLDT 3 regional level, and the third national level, and the fourth world level. And then number of participants since 2019 is are 94 students. And in this Natalis Universitas Trisakti, we have British parliamentary debates in both English and Indonesian language. Number of participants since 2019 are 136 students. And in KDMI, we have an Asian parliamentary since 2019 until 2022, and British parliamentary since 2019 to 2021 until right now or present. Debates in Indonesian. First, we have an Universitas Trisakti level. Second, we have LLDT 3 regional level, and the third we have national level. Then number of participants since am I audible?
Suaranya kecil banget.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I think there is a problem with my microphone, so I will fix it first. I'm sorry. Sorry for my bad. All right, check. Am I audible? Still? All right, check. I'm sorry. Wait a moment. Check. Am I audible? I think there's. Hello. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
audible.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Okay. I will continue for the NUDC track record. Okay. So there is okay. We have an LLDT3 regional 2020 for we've got a top 11 proceeded to national for the first time, and then there is we have a national 2022. We've got a preliminary rounds finished. And then we have LLDT3 Regional 2021. We've got top 3 proceeded to nationals for second constant consecutive year. And then we have a national 2021. We've got first time breaking open category. We've got a 25th breaking and octo finalist finish. And then the last for NUDC, we have an LLDT3 Regional 2022. We've got top 4 proceeded to nationals. And then for the next slide, we have a track record for Academy. First, we have LLDT3 Regional 2019 and 2022 as a participant only. And then we've have LLDT3 Regional 2021. We've got top 4 proceeded to national for the first time. And then the third nationals 2021, first time breaking open category. We've got 13th breaking, and then octo finalists finish, and 16th and 17th best speakers. And then the last we have LLDT3 Regional 2022. We've got top 3 proceeded to nationals. So here we are. in grand finales appearance in uh, moreover outside and UDC and Academy, we have over 5 grand finalists appearances. So over 30 appearances in national and regional competition, delegating over 46 teams. All right, so here it is. We are proudly present the best top speaker. There are Rain, Anisha, Jihad, Hanesti, Rafif, Bukhari, Krisdayanti, Bully, Fiona, and the most handsome one, myself, Abraham Sahartian. So here it is. Yeah, the history of and the statistic of a Trisakti Voices community, or we are commonly say it TV. If you have more interested to see another our project, you could see from the Trisakti Voices, or you could see it from through our line, through our site in trisaktivoices.co.card.co. And now the most person that we have waited before. Without further ado, let us give the spotlight to our speaker, Rane Arthur. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Abraham. So give me a moment to share my screen. Okay, so before we start, I just want to make sure am I audible, am I audible, and is my screen visible?
Yes.
Screen visible, yeah, audible.
Okay, so first of all, thank you everyone for coming to this session, and for future spectators, I welcome you to this brief session I'll be giving. So I think this will be a very chill and very calm session. I won't be talking about any debate specifics, but I'll simply talk about like why you should start debating, right? Because like I think debating is very awesome, and those of you who especially don't know like what is it about, but it's like potentially like attracted to like activities that can produce a lot, you can gain a lot of experience and get a lot of benefits. I think debating is something that you can try, and something that can potentially give a lot of yields if you like try it. So yeah, the title of this workshop is debating, which that's why you should start debating, cuan. Because if you guys know, I and you will also can get potentially a lot of money as a side hustle if you start debating as an extracurricular journey. So yeah, but before we start, I will first introduce myself maybe more, so you guys get to know me more, because as you know, the old pepatah saying tak kenal maka tak sayang. So yeah, my name is Rane Arthur, but you can just call me Rane. And yeah, it's pronounced as Rane, not Rane or Rane or whatever, because like a lot of people mispronounce it, and not Arthur. It's not my nickname. So I'm from industrial engineering or industry from the Faculty of Information Industrial Technology (FTI), and I'm from the batch 2018, and I've graduated already from Trisakti last February 2022. So yeah, I've graduated in 3.5 years. I went to a student exchange in Unhas back in 2021, part of the Kampus Merdeka program pertukaran mahasiswa Merdeka for 1 semester. And I first started debating actually in 2016, back when I was a high school student, but it's not like most people where they start their actual careers in like debating since like high school. Actually, just that one time thing in high school is only just like coba-coba, and actually like I never continued anything involved to debating after that one time thing. So I don't think like my high school experience is something that actually contributes a lot to my debating journey, and actually started only starting seriously debating actually in 2021, which is might be surprising because yeah, it's only just less than a year, and I'm the Trisakti delegate for NEDC in 2021, so I'm officially representing them in NEDC. My favorite debate topic is as follows, although it's kind of rare, but I really like esports. as a topic because I think it's something that I know a lot and not many other people know about it. And the other two things is also, I think a lot of people kind of hate studying it, but I actually find it very interesting, which is politics and international relations, especially Western IR and mostly involved United States, EU. It's something that I'm really enjoy learning more because I'm also a kind of a global person. So I like to know a lot about like what is currently happening in like the world right now. And fun fact, gue itu paling sering ngeblank kalau misalnya disuruh mikirin fun fact tentang diri sendiri. Gara-gara kayak I don't know, it's just I'm really bad at thinking of fun facts about myself. Just like kadang suka ngeblank kalau case build. So ya, buat yang kadang ngerasa if their case building itu kayak aduh ngeblank kayak it's okay, it happens to me too. And doesn't mean that you are a bad debater by any means. Like it happens and it's totally normal. So yeah, key achievements. So this is just a snippet of my debating CV. So as you know, because like I've debated for like, around 1 year more, I actually like have my own CV. I can show it later, I guess, if you guys want to see, maybe in Q&A if anyone is interested. I have my own debating CV, so everyone can see exactly what is my debating credentials and adjudicating credentials. So I think the things that I want to highlight the most is first, I'm the first delegate from Trisakti to break it to the NUDC national levels. So as you guys know, in NUDC later, in the national level, once you make it there, there will be 2 stages. It will be preliminary and elimination. So there will be 6 rounds in the preliminary round. And after like those 6 rounds, the top 32 teams from over 300 plus teams will advance to the elimination rounds. This is something that Trisakti has never done before. So Trisakti's furthest milestone before is advancing to nationals, because like the regional levels is also kind of a challenge in itself, because as you know, Jakarta is like very stacked also. And so yeah, it's definitely even though maybe you can say, oh, it's not grand finals or whatever, but like remember that this is NUDC. NUDC is the largest and most prestigious debating competition in Indonesia. It's hosted by the Ministry of Education under Prospresnas. It has like 330 plus teams, and the winner and the grand finalist of the competition will be sponsored to go to the World's WDC, which is like the largest and the most prestigious and the oldest debate competition in the world. There is like almost 600 plus teams that goes there, and it's definitely the largest and most prestigious competition in the world. Last year it was in South Korea, this year in Belgrade, and next year it will be in Spain, in Madrid. So yeah, because like it's such a huge deal, I think like being able to advance to open up finals and make the personal record is something I'm really proud of. As you can see below, this is the break. This is the tabulation side. So Trisakti last time break 25th with 11 victory points. We got two firsts in the round and one second position. And then another key achievement. Yeah, in the regional level also, we are in 3rd place. We managed to secure a higher position than UMN and BINUS, which is kind of a feat in itself, because Trisakti before not that powerful of an institution compared to like BINUS, because like BINUS is like one of the oldest and one of the biggest powerhouses debating community in Jakarta, and Jakarta itself is already a very stacked region. We have UI, we have Atmajaya, which is like those two are like some of the oldest and largest debating institutions in the world. Fun fact, like both of them sent representatives to Worlds, and Atmajaya itself made it to finals last year. So it's definitely one of the biggest titans in like the debating community. And even then, like our score compared to like Atmajaya is not that far, just the difference of 8 marks. And yeah, BINUS is like one of the biggest powerhouse, even though perhaps like it's not as consistent. They're not as consistent before, but they used to be multiple times NEC champions. They won everything in 2012, 2013, and 2018. And even outside of those years, they numerous times like have representatives reaching like the semifinals and like sending delegates to Worlds numerous times. There's like lots of legendary debaters from there. So I think it's also something that Trisakti should be very proud of, because like we are also a fairly new and fairly small debating community. And then another notable debating achievement. So yeah, I was champion and best speaker for the selection for NDC 2021 last year, 2022 this year, and also academy selection because I also tried joining it. So you guys can see the picture at the right side. It's the time when I got the champion and the speaker title. And also the this Natalis Trisakti last year is also I'm also the champion and the speaker. And then outside of Trisakti, I was the novice grand finalist in Pajajaran Open 2020. And then best novice team of Founders Trophy. Actually, correction, that is Pajajaran Open 2019. Yeah, my bad. And I was also the best novice team in Founders Trophy UI 2021, which is, I think it's one of my proudest achievements also, because Founders Trophy UI is the oldest British parliamentary debate competition in Indonesia. British parliamentary, if you guys don't know, it's the format used in NEDC, it's the debating format used, and Founders Trophy UI is the oldest and the most well-established debate competition in Indonesia. It's hosted by UI, which is also the oldest and largest debating community in Indonesia. It's like they started the whole entire debating trend in Indonesia. So it's something that I find myself very proud of, being able to secure like the best novice team position there. And then semi-finalist of Argument Open 2021, I was the novice semi-finalist of US Open 2021 and top 10 best speaker of IRI UPN VJ 2022. Wait, this is 2019. I'm sorry, the dates sometimes I get mixed with the dates. And then outside of debating, I also made my mark and made some accomplishments in judging, because judging in debates is also something that is competed on. It's something that's like being dilombakan, and it's also something that's quite challenging. It's totally different from debating. It's something that's different, and it's also one of the ways that you can actually get to earn later. And judging in the Indonesian debating circuit and like debating circuits outside the international requires you to get accreditation. Accreditation is the system to ensure that you have passed the standards of like competent judging in a national level, because like, so there will be like tests later. You'll be given a test, and you will be given like you'll be asked to like judge the teams in the preliminary rounds, and then if you have scored enough, so there will be like another scoring. So either is it a more senior judge, a more capable judge than you, or the debaters itself after they hear your judging. Because after you listen to the debate, you judge them, you will also be giving adjudication verbally. You will be explaining like why team A is above team B, why you get first, why you get second. Like it will be explained everything, and they will also score you. So it's a very it's quite a demanding. It's quite a technical thing to do, because like you need to be able to describe and like judge fairly and comprehensively, to the point that even the team that you give the most low position will be satisfied with the judging and won't have any like won't have any sakit hati lah, atau kayak won't have any you know the term lah, nggak bakal dendam gitu, because like they think that they are being judged fairly. So I'm the first judge from Trisakti to get national judging accreditation. So it's national level. It can be applied in any national context competition in World School System, which is the system used in NSDC and WSDC, which, if you guys don't know, it's the most prestigious high school level competition in Indonesia and in the world. NSDC is also conducted by the Ministry of Education, and it's used to filter students to represent Indonesia in WSDC, which is the largest school debate competition in the world. And then Asian Parliamentary System, which is used in LDBI, and it used to be used in KDMI also, but not anymore, because it switched to British Parliamentary, and also British Parliamentary System used in NUDC and WDC, and now also KDMI. So if you guys, so there's several different systems in debating, but it mostly revolves around like the amount of teams that join. So like I think a very brief example, in Asian parliamentary, each team consists of 3 people, while in BP it only consists of 2. And then when you compare with world schools have like a different scoring system where you score not only based on the debate itself, but like the way you present it, like the way you strategize the debate is something that also scored upon in worlds, while in BP and Asian, you are only scored based on the debate itself. So yeah, there's like different systems that you will get to learn and you will get tested upon, because like even though you're maybe an accredited judge in Asian system, but doesn't mean that you can judge a BP system effectively and fairly. And this is like why you need to get multiple accreditations. And so yeah, I've acquired all the major accreditation titles in debating, as you guys can see right here. So I got the world's accreditation from Argumentum Schools. It's a competition conducted by Argumentum, which is one of the largest debating platform in Indonesia. It's conducted in align with ITB, so they have a collaboration. The competition itself is hosted by SEF ITB. And then for Asians, I was able to get it from Argumentum Antar Siswa. It was a collaboration between Argumentum and Universitas Airlangga. And for BP, I got it from our Intervarsity, which is also collaboration between Argumentum and ITB. And then I was also able to get multiple Best Judge awards in those competitions. And I guess like several times as the open final, grand finals judge, because as you guys know, as I mentioned before, how the way that you get accreditation is by other people scoring your judging capability, right? And the individuals with the highest scores will be given the opportunity to judge in the grand finals, which is like the most prestigious position that you can judge upon. If like you're given the trust to judge the grand finals, and the open grand finals. Open is like the most prestigious category in debate, because usually there's like 2 categories, open and novice. And like open is like the most prestigious and like the most challenging category, because like there will be very, very capable teams debating there. So last time when I judged open grand finals of our Intervarsity, it was between Undip, UGM, BINUS, which is, and wait, one more, I forgot. I forgot the last one, but it's definitely a big institution. But it was like a very demanding round. It was like also a very challenging topic. But yeah, I was given the opportunity and like the trust, the confidence to be able part of the judging for like open grand finals. And then I was also the core judge, or like deputy chief adjudicator of like one national competition, which is UU Debat Minerba, conducted by VALTL last time, which is a national level competition. And I was also invited judge for several national competitions, so you guys can see at the right side. I was judging together with Kak Randy Utomo, which is also a very famous judge in Indonesia debating circuit. If you guys see the posters, he appears a lot in like those posters. And last but not least, I'm also the first person in TrustEd that knows how to tabulate. So yeah, there's also tabulation. Tabulation is like how do you track the scores of the debate, like deciding who gets into the top 16. I think this understanding of like the tabulating system comes when you like participate in debating competitions and you understand the system already, like how you are being scored, how you are being ranked, how they decide teams that break. And after that, I was able to combine that knowledge with some basic knowledge in like software. So there will be a special software called TabbyCat. You get to learn that, and with that you can also tabulate. And I've tabulated for 6 competitions until now, and some of them is like right here. I've tabulated for like Paviksas Mabi and Unite SMA Negeri 9 Yogyakarta. Yeah, it was a very fun experience because tabbing is like something that's like really chill, but also really give pretty good amount of money. So yeah, let's talk about benefits of debating. So as you guys know, debating has a lot of benefits, not only monetary, but maybe if you are more interested on like perhaps a side hustle, debating is definitely a way that you can, like, there's many ways that you can get a lot, that you can gain cuan in debating. There's an old Roman saying, baik jalan menuju cuan. So yeah, I think let's talk in more personal level. Let's not talk about money first. But personally speaking, debating really helps in your soft skills because first, it really improves your critical and dynamic thinking ability. Because as you guys know, like critical thinking, like it's like synonymous with debating, but also most importantly, it makes you to be able to think really fast, like dynamically, because like like things change like in an instant, like maybe there's suddenly changes and you need to be able to adapt to it. Like debating will help us because debating is also a very dynamic sport, a very dynamic activity. And then second, it really improves your communication ability. You're able to like deliver things more clearly. You're able to like explain your ideas in a cohesive and like in a concise manner. There's like a really detailed analysis. And then also you are also being developed in your research ability, because before debating starts, you are also expected to do some research. You're expected to research about various topics. There is a lot of things that you research upon when you're debating. There's like lots of debating headings. There's economics, there is law, politics, there's IR, there's environment, there is technology, there is feminism, philosophy. There's like a lot of sports. There's a lot of debating topics that you will be learning later, and it really helps your research ability because it really helps for you to be able to like research a lot of information in like a short amount of time. So you guys know like can able to filter like what is like the most important things that you need to find out. And it also really helps with your broader worldview. I think this really helps because I think currently now, especially we live in a world where there's like lots of like disruptions because of perhaps COVID. There's like lots of effects, right? There's this recession. There is also, for example, there's a currently ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. It has a lot of impact actually in like the global world, because not only that it affects the political relations between a lot of countries that supports Ukraine and Russia, but it also affects things like economics, gas prices, even like things like as simple as like bread, because like Ukraine is like one of the largest exporters of grain. So like even countries have like increases in like price of like simple things like food and like rice and like bread because of like these things happening. So I think like this actually really helps you because like you're able to understand the world more as a global citizen. I think now like it also really helps when you're trying to find work, because like employers also like really appreciate like people who actually knows a lot about the world, because it means they will know more about the industry and like possible changes that is needed by the company in order to adapt right to these kind of things. And lastly, I think it also really improves the way you empathize with people, even though like perhaps maybe this is something like less pragmatically useful, but I think being able to empathize and like connect to a more personal level is like really contributive in like building better relationships, because you're able to understand both sides. You are more willing to compromise. You're more willing to listen to both sides of the house, because like as you know, debating must defend both sides. Right? You need to be able to prepare like the pro and the cons of like a motion, even though perhaps like you're more biased to a certain side, but you are expected to be able to defend both sides. And this really, I think, this will develop empathy and develops you as a better person, personally speaking, in my opinion. So yeah, and maybe there's like a lot more, but you guys, as you guys try, you will also like feel it for yourself. Like you guys can discover the other possible benefits by yourself. But perhaps for like some of you, maybe you are more interested in like the more monetary side of it. So I think like this is the practical benefits that is like really practical that you guys can get from like debating. First, definitely is prestasi and SKPI. As you guys know, debating is a competitive activity. You will be joining lots of competition, and if every time you achieve something, it will contribute to your achievement, of course. And like achievements, as you guys know, have a lot of use. Like not only in academic, but once you graduate, it will also really help in like developing your portfolio, because they will know that you are a high achiever and ambitious person. And it also really helps in filling your SKPI, because SKPI, as you guys know, is like one of the things that is like required for you to graduate, right? And SKPI itself is something that perhaps many students is like confused on like how to fill it. And this is my SKPI. Last time, if you guys, this is only me. This is me only debating for like I think 5 or 6 months, and I was able to fill already 2 pages with just one section, which is the prestasi. It doesn't include yet like things like organisasi, language, dan lain-lain. So yeah, it's very helpful in order to fill your SKP really quickly. And then secondly, it also really boosts your CV. It helps you to get internships, scholarships, and exchanges really easily. So I've also like as mentioned before, I've also have experiences in all of that. I've been an intern, I've been a scholar, I've been like exchange in like the Unhas project, Unhas Kampus Merdeka activity, and like it's a very competitive process, right? You will be put against like thousands of people. There will be like tens of thousands of appliers, and once you get to the interview section, you need to be able to like showcase why you are a much more worthy individual to get those kind of those kind of like rewards, because like as you guys know, the exchanges will be given like benefits also, like for example like uang UKT, you'll be getting uang transportasi, you'll also be getting uang saku, and perhaps you will be even given like uang incentive for your participation. And even though maybe you are also not interested in that, you can also get a lot of scholarships. Maybe I think like this is also like relevant for like students who are like studying in like perguruan tinggi swasta like Trisakti, because like it's very expensive right in here. So being able to get scholarships both from abroad and both from outside Trisakti and from inside is like really helpful. I've gotten like multiple scholarships already. I've gotten like several academic and also non-academic scholarships because of my participation in NDC last time. So I was offered a non-academic scholarship by the university. And then next is recognition. Like, trust me, like once you starting like this debating journey and like start to achieve things like whatnot, your dekan, your wadek, and your docent will much more easily recognize you, because like once you like achieve these kind of things, their wadek will definitely like send a broadcast message, or like perhaps like the Trisakti will post your name in their Instagram, and then like this will be forwarded all the way to like the group dosen and like the group himpunan and everything else, and this will really help in your networking because people will very easily recognize you. And even in the classroom environment itself, like with docent and assistant knowing you more, like they can immediately recognize you. They will be like much more paying attention to you. Like perhaps like in class they will be seeing you more, because as you guys know, there is like some docent which gives like better scores, right, to people who are like more generous with their nilai when it comes to students that they know, like students that they are familiar of. Perhaps like maybe if like the students is like someone in neighborhood, there's like, oh, I think he's not very active in this class, and they'll just give nilai pas-pasan gitu in their participation and like scores and like everything else. But like with this recognition, it also really help. And not only that, your docent and your assistant will like offer a lot of things also. They will offer like things like perhaps the assistant docent, or they will ask you to help with the research because they know that you're an excellent student. And then third, maybe there's like some side projects, or like some there's like some things that they need help with. Like there's like some docent that like asking things for like perhaps they want you to help check the exams of like your juniors. It's something that is like very much more accessible when these lecturers know you, especially since like there is like people who are like perhaps like hard to like connect to, because like there's some docent that is like being crowded upon. Like sometimes kan kayak kudu berkompetisi dulu ya sama teman-teman yang lain buat cari perhatian dosen. And I think this is like something that's like really helpful, because like even dosen-dosen from like other faculties, like yesterday, literally just yesterday, I was like applying for like a job from career centernya Trisakti, and like the wadek of FEB, Faculty of Economics, is like recognizing me, and he's like telling the recruiters to like pay attention to me more, because like I was able to get some achievements in like, debating. So like yeah, even like having like the word of mouth, being able to be told that you're an excellent student is like really helpful also in like your potential prospects later in like getting you that dream jobs and like those dream internships that you want. And yeah, most importantly, I'm not even talking about like the direct money itself, like the amount of money that you can make from debating as a side hustle. So yeah, banyak jalan menuju cuan. So I think this is like the very direct ways that you can get money. Of course, if you win, you get the cash prizes, which is usually like millions, like it's usually like at least 1 and 2 to 5 million. And even like speaker awards, like if you get the best speaker, it already gives you like 500 to 700,000. And even if you don't win, like even if like, you just participate, like it's very likely that you are able to ask your faculty for incentives and appreciation money. Because even my faculty is not that generous when it comes to incentives, but I was able to obtain some quite significant amount of incentive. And I know some friends, not only in Trisakti but also in outside their universities, they have got like a ton of money from like their incentive, from their university incentive system. So like I have a friend that have got like every time he joined a competition, he got at least like 1 meal. And then I also have known a friend in Trisakti from FEB. He was able to get like 10 million plus from like just incentive and appreciation from his faculty because he joins a lot of competitions. And not only from your university itself, because like, your university will be giving the incentive, but also your faculty itself also, or perhaps even your jurusan can also like give their own money and like their own incentive if they have their own system, which means like you can get even double or triple the amount of money from like this side hustle. And then being a delegate itself, you get also access to lots of financial incentive. You get uang pembinaan, which can be like 1 to 3 million, and then you get the beasiswa non-academic, like one I mentioned before, which also like around 3 to 4 million. And then like, and this is in the pandemic context, yeah. As I known before, as my friend said, before the pandemic itself, like it was like double the amount, because like the university was matchmaking more, and especially now since we're already transitioning from the pandemic context to like a more recovering context, right? Like sekarang udah mulai offline lagi. Kayak it will get you like this a potential that the amount of money you can make later is even double or triple the amount of money they can actually make now. And you get the all sorts of cool stuff like transport, hotel, consumption money for boot camps, and like the consumption money is usually like way more than you're actually spending. Perhaps you're only like spending like mungkin makan cuma 60.000, 70.000, tapi you're given like 300,000 every day, which can like really stack up, right? You can like really save a lot of money and like bring it home as like personal profit. And then there's also ways to get money directly. As you guys know, as you invest more time, you will be able to like try to get accreditation. And once you get invited as a judge, it also like means lots of money, because like debating competition is like one of the most frequent competitions out there. Like every week, almost every week, I guarantee there is a debating competition out there, whether it's big, whether it's small. So there will always be a need and demand for judges, especially like a judge is like something that's like quite limited in supply. So like not everyone, there's like not lots of judges out there. So as you invest more time and being able to is able to become a capable judge, you are able to like get the opportunity to get invited. And also once you understand the systems of tabulation, you can also be invited as a tabulator. Aku pernah di invite like multiple, like dua-duanya sekaligus. Jadi pernah jadi tabulator sekaligus juri di lomba itu. And it was very lucrative because like even being it as part-time, every like competition, even the smallest competition, can yield at least 500,000 per gig. And with like double in that, it's like 41 million. And it's something that's like very done in a very minimum amount of time. It's usually conducted only in your weekend. Like biasa cuma Sabtu Minggu gitu. So it's like something that is like very interesting if you are looking for a side gig that is like kerja sampingan yang doesn't take a lot of time, but can potentially give a pretty good yield, because like every gig can give you around 500K to even 2 mil if you are invited to become a chief adjudicator, which is usually around 1 to 2 million for the payment. And then you can also get invited a lot of other things. You can get invited to like a speaker for a webinar or like for a workshop, and you usually can get like 300 to 500,000 for appreciation money. And then also your achievement portfolio can definitely lead you to other things, to become like delegate for MAPRES, because like MAPRES and like Duta and like perhaps like Abang Noni Jakarta and like etc. It usually demands a lot of things. Right? It demands like achievements, it demands your ability to communicate. So even like ability to communicate is something that you get from debate. your ability to like make research and like do papers, something you get from debate, but also like the money and the achievement itself, you can directly tap from like these debating competitions, and it's much more likely that your university will want to appoint you as their mapres or like their duta delegate if you're into that kind of things. And then lastly, also like as I mentioned before, this portfolio achievement will also help you land these competitive and lucrative jobs, because as you guys know, once you like graduate, there will be like millions of people competing for the same job, and there's probably like only like 10 spots or like even 5 spots, and you need to be able to differentiate yourself as much as possible. As for per se, I actually just got information that I was able to land a job at a multinational company. It's DHL, one of the largest logistics company in the world. And when I was applying, even in the third to last step, there is already 100. There's still 100 participants left, and there's only 8 slots given. So I was like actually like really anxious, because when I like comparing to them, like they have way more internship experience than me. Like because like some of them, many of them are actually angkatan 2017, not 18 like me. They are not fresh graduates anymore. But because of that, they have like way more experience, and I was like actually quite anxious in like being able to think if I was able to compete with them or not. But like with my ability to leverage these kind of achievements as a potential way to differentiate myself, it was really helpful in the end, and I was able to just get the offering just right now, actually. So yeah, it's something that I'm really thankful of. And then, are you sure that I can do this? Maybe you're thinking like, oh, like this is you, maybe. That's like, it's not me. Like, I'm not as good as you. Like, it's honestly, it's something that's total bullshit, because like, I think anyone can do this if you have the willingness to try and like commit to it. Because here's the thing, I wasn't very good at debating to at start, and anyone can do this. If I can do it, then so can you. Because here's the thing, when I was like trying debating for the first time in high school, I have like such a terrible stage fright, like takut panggung, to the point when I was already done with my speech, I'm already made my speech, I was already in front, but what I did instead of talking, I was only like standing still and like being quiet and like gemetaran dulu. And I was like almost to the point of breaking down, because like I was so having like, I have such a huge confidence problem before. And this is not in a competition, by the way. I have a stage fright problem in a practice where only like very few people was watching me. But like I was like having like those kind of stage fright, and like I don't even think in that point I was able to become a good debater. And I also started debating like really later, as mentioned before. Like this is me in that one competition when I was in high school, and it was like something that's like only a one-time thing, and it doesn't go really far. And I finally started debating for seriously, like really late, when I was like already in my 6th semester. Like for your context, since I graduated in like 3.5 years, it means I only graduated in 7 semesters. I was only able to utilize like 2 semesters effectively to be able to do my debating career, which is like when I was semester 6 and semester 7. And I was also doing internship, I was also doing my kerja praktek, I was also doing my thesis, which is like, my thesis is like one of the most complicated and like the most challenging things that is like I was able to do, because like I was doing a very new thesis. I wasn't doing a topic that was already recycled over and over again. So it was something that's actually really demanding. And at some point, I was even thinking that maybe I won't be able to graduate on time. But even under all those constraints, I was still able to make the most out of my career in debating. And yeah, as you guys can see, even with that, my experience is very minimal. Like I was only able to try debating like one time only with 0 good results. And I didn't continue for a very long time. My English got very bad at that point. It wasn't very good at all, because like Trisakti is not an English institution, right? So my English wasn't as developed as I wish it is. And when I started debating again, my English is kind of rusty actually. Wait, give me a moment to do it. And honestly, I think the main reason why I wasn't very good back then, because like there is like 0 support and like there is 0 infrastructure. Like there is no coaching, there is no funding, there is no like facilities that help you develop in your training. But then I think what really makes a difference is with the right support now, especially now in Trisakti, we finally have a debating platform with a debating proliferation activity club, which is TrisaktiVoices. I think this is like the right opportunity for you to utilize, because this is something that's actually very new. Trisakti back then don't have things like this. This is like why I think it will be foolish if you guys don't take this as an opportunity for you to learn, because I think like this year's generation tahun ini banyak banget diberkati sama kesempatan, kayak ISMA just started now, sekarang ada ISMA, terus sekarang finally ada Trisakti ada their own debating club. So it's like it will be the right platform for you, because like with the right amount of support, with the right coaching, with the right training, I was able to accomplish like all of those things that I've mentioned before in like less than 6 months when I first started debating. And like why TrisaktiVoices will be able to like really help with the growth, because you will get like the best and the most accomplished coaches out there in Indonesia. So currently we have Bastri, which is from UGM. She's like one of the oldest and the most distinguished coaches in the Indonesian debating circuit, and also Karendi, which is one of the most popular also coach and judge in the current circuit. They are both very experienced and very what's the name? Yeah, banyak achievement lah. And they can really help you to really kickstart your journey. Especially coaches like this are usually very expensive. Like they can cost around at least 300,000 per hour to the point of like there's some coaches even charging like 1 million per hour. And this is like why being able to get this kind of coaching for free, because like the university is funding it, is something that's like really a huge opportunity for you to be able to like capitalize on this platform. And then not only that, not only coaches, but you also get the full university support every time you want to join competition. 100 of competition out there, you will get funded every time 100%. You won't need to pay anything, which is like something that's like massive, because even the largest and the most prestigious debating clubs out there, like IDS UI, IDS UGM, what's the name, UDF Unpad, UDF di Ponorogo, Undip, SU Unpad, all of them, even though like perhaps they give you like money to join competitions, but usually they only give you money to join competitions that are like being designated. So like perhaps they'll only give you money for like one competition 1 month, not more than that. And also they usually don't give like the whole amount. They only like pay for like 50% of it, and then the other 50%, you need to pay it on your own. So I think like Trisakti is like really generous with this. And like this is like something that's like really incredible. Why is like competition is like something that's very important, because in competitions you get exposure to better debaters than you, get exposure to more experienced debaters than you, and you can learn directly from them. You can learn about how the way they debate. You can listen like how the way they do things, and like with this kind of direct exposure, you will be able to get this kind of passive development. And not only that, they will also help with their documents, with their logistics. If you need to go to a competition, university will provide the transportation. They will provide the accommodation. They also provide if you need to like skip UAS or you need to skip a class. They will provide you with the dispensasi and whatnot, and etc. They will also help you with the everything you need. And then lastly, they'll also like will also like give you the various materials, equip you with the knowledge you need. Like we'll give you like the materials, the research matter, the templates, and the PowerPoints for you to study. There's like lots of curriculum already in order to help new debaters to start develop their debating journey. And it's like why, with the right support, anyone can do it. I think this is the difference between me back in high school and like right now, like why I was able to achieve so much things also, because like I finally have this kind of support. And as I mentioned before, not everyone has this kind of privilege. So I think it's really important that you take this opportunity as you can, as soon as possible, because like perhaps this opportunity is something that maybe I'm not hoping that it will be gone someday, but it's something that's definitely not taken for granted, because as you know, like with currently uncertain things right now, like things that can definitely change. So I think with this opportunity being able to your access right now, it's really important for you to grab it as you go. So yeah, don't be afraid to try, because like we are also like currently in a process of like accepting a lot of new debaters. So like almost everyone in the TV right now is like very new to debating. So you guys will learn together as it goes. And as I mentioned before, learning comes from trying. There will be no one to judge you or whatever. There's like no there is like no super scary senior or whatever also in the TrisaktiVoices. So I think like this is also the perfect moment for you to join. And as I mentioned before, if you think that, oh, this will not be worth your time, trust me, it will become worth your time, because every debater that have joined us have made at least some accomplishments, and some of them with money also in the way, from like the ways I have mentioned before, in like less than a couple of months. Like all of it takes is like the willingness to try and like commit to it. How do I know this is something that's like almost guaranteed? Because like the way that the Indonesian debating tournament is like being structured. So if you're not sure, like, are you sure I can do this? Like, I'm just a novice. Like, there's no way I can do that. All of that, right? Competitions like sound so scary and like so competitive. Because like the debating scene like knows that in order to attract new debaters, they need to make their competition as inclusive as possible. This is like why they make the competitions having like things like, for example, like categories in order to help you being able to join even though you're a novice, and you're able to like get the proper affirmation and recognition to appreciate newbies, like for example like newbie best speaker awards or newbie champion awards. So it's like something that's like available for everyone. So there's like three ways that these competitions can do it. First, they can like make separate categories. So even though in the preliminary you're maybe like joining with the rest of the entire tournament, but once you're in the elimination round, you'll be separated. So you'll only be competing against teams that are also tagged as novice, and there's already a system to ensure that the debaters are actually real novice that just started debating. So I think like this is like really helpful, because this is the opportunity for you to be able to like debate and start learning debating and compete in an environment at your level and something that you're comfortable at. So even NUDC itself, like the most prestigious competition, has their own novice category. And even if you're still not into this kind of like huge and like scary competitions, there's also lots of other competitions that is built exclusively for newbies. So even from the very start, it's only for newbies, like Pro-Ams, like newbies UI. There's also some newbies international level competitions, which is like really amazing, because like these competitions is only allowed for newbie participations, or for example, if Pro-Ams, it needs to be consist of one newbie and one more experienced debater. So this is like competition that is like designed for you to be able to achieve even though you're still a newbie, because like this kind of environment make sure that there is like an even level of competition. And then lastly, even though like maybe there's like this competition are like really big, since like there's like a debating competition like every week, there's like a ton of small competitions too. There's lots of like small competitions that is like less competitive, so I can really have a good time and like achieve there, because like the amount of competition you get will be like much more significantly less. And this is how like some of my friends, like even they get like a lot of awards and a lot of speaker awards in just less than like several months, because like they like to join a lot of these small competitions and like get a lot of speaker awards from that, and like in return get the incentive and from the university and the faculty. So I think like combine of this is like showing that you can definitely achieve in like this sport. And with that being said, if you join us, you can even achieve way more, and not in a very long time. So yeah, to close this session, I think I just want to have a call to action. Now it's your turn, and what you're ready for. So yeah, you can definitely sign up and like get more information in here in TrisaktiVoices. Here's our community information. You can join us. You can follow us at Voices, or you can check out our card.co at TrisaktiVoices.card.co. Or if you want to hit me up and ask any questions, you can hit me up through anything. You can screenshot this. You can hit me up through WhatsApp, Telegram, email, Instagram, Line, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Discord. And yeah, just stay tuned for all those other cool stuff. And thanks for tuning in. I think now we can have a Q&A. Q&A, maybe moderator, can you let me know?
All
how
right,
much time?
yes. Such an interesting from Rane Arthur. For you all guys who have a question, we are open to question and answer session. You can ask your question through unmute button or column chat below. So time is yours.
Okay, so Bacain dulu pertanyaan Mut.
Okay, so the first question is, have you ever feel like quieting debating in the middle of your journey? What made you continue? That's the first question. You would maybe you could answer that first.
Okay, so I think at some point I was thinking that because it was not mainly because of like I think debating is like the hardest thing. It's challenging, but what made me like think of quitting is like time management because like I was also like doing some things like skripsi, like magang and lain-lain. And I think it's also a reason why some people also choose not to continue their debating journey. But what made me continue first is I think, as I mentioned before, there's like a lot of possible benefits that I can get from like investing in debating. And secondly, personally, I think debating is also something that's like seru lah pokoknya. Really fun for me and like something that's like really interesting. So that's why I think I still continue debating.
All right. Okay. The second question is, what was the most traumatizing thing you faced in the competition?
I think for this question, I was at there is a moment where I joined several competitions and I didn't break at all in those competitions in a row. So I think it was really demotivating for me before because it was almost before NEDC, and I thought with me not breaking in these competitions at all, like it was really damaging the way I was my self confidence. But I think this is like why it was also important, right? Even with all of that, I was still able to achieve like the best results that I can give to Trisakti back in NDC because like as you guys know, the debating journey itself there'll be ups and downs. There'll be times where you don't achieve anything, but trust me, you just need to learn the process. And as I mentioned before, if you're already tired with all of those big competitions, there's always lots of small competitions where you can just simply have fun and get those nice achievements.
All right. Okay. The next question: how do you get along with your? I'm sorry. If there's debate selection in the Sakti level, does joining TV give you a certain privilege, or do you have to still go through faculty level selection?
This depends. Yeah. Some faculty have like their own selection, some doesn't. My faculty personally doesn't, but I know a lot that does. So I think being part of TV doesn't give you privilege as in you don't need to join faculty level selection anymore, but it definitely gives you privilege as in you'll be able to debate better than all your other contestants, your saingan-saingan. And it almost means that you will be guaranteed to represent your faculty in the Trisakti level.
All right. So the next question is, how do you get along with your debating partners? Whom are you most favorite debate partners in your debating history?
How do I get along? It's just kind of, to be honest, it's just normally like how you get along with friends ya, like you talk, you bercanda dan lain-lain. Just usual stuff to develop chemistry. And I think for favorite, actually kind of like most of my debating partners, like there's standouts, even though like some of them have their own adalah there's things that maybe I don't like, but like most of them are like fine in there, like they have their own strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, I think to name some, because I'm sure like the one who is asking this question is like begging to be named. So I think the most standout partners that I've had before is Rafif, Satria, Anasti, because like Satria and Anasti is my partner doing NGC, and yeah, my first novice grand finalist appearance is with Rafif. I also helped him with his finally first time breaking open in competition. So yeah.
All right. So the other question is, how is the quality of friendship or environment in TV and Trisakti itself?
In TV, I think it's really good because like TV is very chill. There is like nothing. It's everyone is like really santai lah. Santai kayak nggak ada senioritas dan lain-lain. Kayak semuanya asik-asik aja, bercanda-bercanda di grup dan lain-lain. And like even during latihan, kalau misalnya latihannya nggak intensif banget, nggak bener-bener sebelum lomba kayak biasanya santai-santai aja, kayak banyak bercanda, ketawa-ketawa, banyak ngobrol sama coachnya. Dan even kayak outside of that, kayak biasanya kita kayak suka ada kadang hangout sama coachnya, ketemu-ketemuan di mana, di mall atau di cafe atau apa, ngobrol-ngobrol, asik-asikan lah, nongkrong. Terus in Trisakti itself, I don't know, just I think everyone is like a Trisakti student in here, so like I guess you can decide it on your own.
All right. Another question came from Anisha. Do you think debating influence your day-by-day way of thinking and making decision? If yes, how it influenced you and what you learned from it?
Yeah, I think debating really influenced my day-to-day thinking, because it really make me think a lot more. It make me evaluate more, kayak mikir-mikir 2-3 kali, and like most important also like think more in a big picture, like what is the effect, apa yang bakal terjadi kalau misalnya gue melakukan A, B, C, D, E. Kayak it really helps the way I was able to assess myself. And yeah, I think it helps me to become a better decision maker. And I think it also really helps in like learning in like what is like the importance of like my decisions, because like I get to learn more about like what's the name? Learn more about kayak decision making and whatnot.
All right. Thanks for the question and the answering. Maybe if there is another question, we still open the question and answer session. For you all guys who have or wondering about something that have to tell, you can unmute yourself, or like what other people say, other people doing before. You could text it by the column chat. Maybe from Siliwati Dayang Ganjar have any question, or Istiana Hasana, or maybe Miliane Dewi, Clifford, Yonabra. I think that's clear enough, because since there's nothing question anymore. Thanks for joining Trusted. Like what our speaker said, now it's your turn. And once more, I say we are really appreciate your attendance, and thanks for joining Trusted by TrisaktiVoices. Before it, there is a documentation session. We are pleased on cam yourself, because we want to take a moment. All right, guys. Maybe we can on your camera, and we would like to take a picture of us. Still waiting for another friend to on camera. All right, I'll count down from 3, 2, 1, and all right. Oh, there's okay. There is someone who just on her camera. Okay. All right. We'll take. We'll count down it back. 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for joining the Trusted by TrisaktiVoices. And tomorrow we have a special guest that really famous in varsity debating world. Don't forget to register yourself to see another interesting story from TrisaktiVoices. See you guys later, and now it's your turn.